Hey, good morning. Let's go over today's trade plan. So on Friday, we saw the market break out to new all-time highs, and that move continued up to 25.04 half in the overnight session. Heading into the open today, the main question is whether that breakout from Friday is really going to stick. As long as buyers can hold ES above 93.5 to 96, the breakout can remain intact, and then in order to continue printing higher prices, we want to see broad market strength, some sustained upside momentum, and participation from the other markets. So it will be helpful to keep an eye on NASDAQ and the Russell as well. If those markets start to show a bit more weakness, then that could limit the upside potential in the S&P. On the upside, we have resistance at 25.0375 to 25.0575, primarily based off the overnight high, so it's not really a strong area of resistance. And beyond the initial resistance zone, there is no hard resistance because the S&P would be making fresh all-time highs. Now, in the event that the breakout from Friday remains intact and we continue to see some upward momentum and the buyers remain in control, then beyond initial resistance, we could tag 09.5 to 11.5 just based on the average ranges that we've seen over the last couple of weeks. And 15.5 to 17.5 would mark a range extreme in the current volatility environment. On the downside, we have the overnight low at 98.5. We have the previous close at 97.25. Those are still levels where buyers can be active, but since those are fairly aggressive prices, the only time it would make sense to lean on the 97.25 and 98.5 and enter long is if we were seeing some bullish signals in real time, like a positive disconnect on the advanced decline as the market goes down to 97, 98.5, or the other markets hitting their own respective area of support. The main area of support today is 93.5 to 96, which marks the recent balanced breakout area, and that's the spot that buyers really need to hold if the breakout from Friday is really going to remain intact. A failure to hold 93.5 to 96 would bring Friday's RTH low at 90.5 and the recent 3 to 4 day balance area low at 87 to 89 into play, where responsive buyers can still be active, especially if the market is exhausted into it. And the same goes for the support zones below. If ES gets exhausted into 83.5 to 85.5, buyers can still step in, and then 78.25 to 80.25 and 74 to 76 would mark a range extreme, and we would have to see a lot of broad market weakness and sustained downside momentum to even make our way down there. So right now, those zones are not really in play. For now, the main question is whether the breakout from Friday is going to stick and whether buyers are going to hold ES above 93.5 to 96. If the market is truly strong, then ideally we don't even come back to 93.5 to 96 and actually hold above 97.25 and 98.5 and then continue to print higher prices. If you're watching the other markets, we have a key high volume node in NASDAQ at 59.92, and if this recent bullishness is going to remain intact, then ideally you want to see the buyers holding NQ above 59.92. So that is the market context. Heading into the open today, our short-term bias is neutral bullish, so that means we are going to favor the long side because the buyers are in control, but we do have to assess the situation in real time and make sure that we're continuing to see broad market strength and some upward momentum. It doesn't have to be a lot of upside momentum, but as long as the NYC tick distribution is primarily above zero, and if we're even getting around plus 500 or so on the tick, we can slowly make our way to higher prices. So those are the main thoughts. Let's see if the buy side can maintain control and keep that breakout from Friday intact, and we'll take it from there.